Y nos encontramos con el director Alex, mi tocayo Alex. Hi Alex, hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Let me begin saying it's a great job you did with this
Thank you,
movie.
thank you, thank
How
you.
was embarking on this rebranching of this original world that Universal created many, many years ago?
It was such a dream come true. I'm a lifelong fan of the Universal monsters. Since I was a kid, I've loved them. And to be able to take them and honor the spirit and the tradition of the original films and then the Hammer films and the Brendan Fraser films, but bring it into a new context was a dream come true for me.
And we've seen many incarnations of the Mummy. Why you decided to bring on a girl to be the Mummy this time?
Because you've seen many incarnations of
Yeah,
the Mummy.
that's why.
And I was looking for something original and different. And to me, one of the key things about the monsters is that you fear them and you sympathize with them at the same time. And I loved her story, and I loved that she was promised power and was denied that power by, betrayed by her father, and now believes that she's going to take back what she deserves. And it allowed me to know that no matter how dark she went as a character, there would always be a baseline of connection to her motivation, and I wanted the audience to feel for her.
We've had so many years of this Mummy coming onto the big screen. Why do you think it's always so entertaining to bring back this story?
I think that the one assumption that we make as human beings is that life ends. And it's the one thing we all agree on. And if the Mummy existed, then we would be wrong. And so the Mummy holds the promise of I think, what we all think about, which is what happens after we die. Is there life after death? And that has fascinated our world and our species since the beginning of our time on this planet.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big part of why.
Something great about the Momia or La Momia, it's the original sets that you created. Why you
Yes.
decided to go along this way instead of doing CGI all the way?
Because if you look at those original films, the sets were gorgeous and huge and immersive. And I did not want to create an experience where you felt like, CGI is a wonderful thing if it's used as a tool to augment. When it's the driving force behind everything, it tends to remove me from the reality of the experience. So I love the idea that we shot as much practically as we could, and we used CGI to help augment it. And the best CGI for me is the CGI where you can't even tell that it's CGI.
Yeah.
So that meant for us going to places like Africa or shooting the plane crash for real, on a real plane, or going to London and shooting in the streets of London, and building massive sets that didn't require set extensions. That is the fun of the film. It's like an old school way of approaching it.
And talking about the plane scene, you're beginning cinematic history doing that zero gravity scene.
Yeah.
How was the process? Who thought about it?
Tom said, "Let's do this for real." And I said, "What? Are you crazy?" And he said, "No, I've really been wanting to do a sequence like this in a movie." And again, it was about creating such an immersive experience that the audience could feel they were inside that plane as it was going down.
We always hear Tom Cruise does his own stunts. Is that real?
100%.
He goes all the way?
There isn't a single moment in the film where he is not on camera doing his own stunts. He goes all the way. And not only that, but all the other actors have to as well.
Yeah.
So
because if he can do it,
they
can do it.
Yes. And well, we can't do it. And he's like, yeah, you can. So he gets them to do things that they never thought they would do.
Going back to this dark universe, it's so entertaining. It's going to be a new beginning for many people to see these monsters that they really didn't know about.
Yeah.
And why the Mummy to begin with? Why do you think they chose the Mummy?
The Mummy is so recognizable. There have been so many iterations of it, and it's clearly endured for many, many generations around the world. And I think we wanted to give the audience an entry point that was familiar to them, but do it in a way that felt fresh.
Do you have any special, like, a monster that you like the most?
That's like asking me to choose my favorite child.
Yeah, it's a hard question.
I love all of them, I really do. I mean, I have a particular affinity for this Mummy because she's a woman, and I think it's just an interesting and different story. I do love the Bride of Frankenstein. I think she's a fascinating character and kind of an enigma based on the original, Bride of Frankenstein film. But we have a really interesting take on her that I'm very excited about. I can't wait to see Javier Bardem play Frankenstein's monster. I think that's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
And Johnny Depp play the Invisible Man. So it feels just like a world of movies that I would want to go see.
Well, hope to see you along this way.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you,
much.
Alex.
Thanks for your
It's
time.
a pleasure.
Thanks a lot.
Great job.
Thank you.
Gracias.